RVBN, The Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, great top 10 list of everything and anything video blogs, and a whole lot more. Collection of my work goes back to June 2014 on various social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now is 3:10 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's about 81 degrees. It's Saturday, April 29th, 2017. This is my third video blog of the day. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire before my third video blog of the day is this. The NHL Draft Lottery is tonight on CBC and NBC. It determines who gets number one pick in 2017 NHL entry draft. San Francisco Giants ace pitcher Madison Bumgarner, who hurt his pitching shoulder in a dirt bike accident, is going to miss 2 months. He won't be available until after the All-Star game. And prayers to actress Charlotte Rae, who's famous for her role as Miss Edna Garrett on The Facts of Life. She's been diagnosed with bone cancer. Cancer sucks. So prayers to her family in this time of need. And that's about it on the news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my third video blog subject of the day, which will be about Ravens Nest / Flock in WCW and ECW. But first, hear this. Boom, boom, boom. RVBN, Billerica, Massachusetts. Time now is 3:12 in the afternoon, Billerica, Massachusetts. My third video blog subject of the day for Saturday, April 29th, 2017, is about Ravens Nest / Flock. Ravens Nest / Flock was kind of a faction in both ECW and WCW. It was led by Raven. The Raven's Nest was formed in 1995 when Raven was in ECW. Raven had a grunge look style, and he had a great interview style saying, quote to Raven, nevermore. And Raven had a lot of flackies in the Raven's Nest, including Stevie Richards, who was his best friend. Raven would always beat him up, and there was also the Blue Meanie, another person that Raven would beat up as well. Eventually, Nova, who Raven beat up as well. Plus, Raven had hired guns like Primetime Brian Lee, the Bulldozer, Cactus Jack, Bang Bang, the Dudley Boys, when it was Dances with Dudley and Big Dick Dudley and Bubba Ray Dudley and Sign Guy Dudley. And he had the Pit Bulls and part of it, the Raven's Nest, and Johnny Hotbody and Tony Stenson. And he had a few valets, including Beulah McGillicuddy and Francine and Komodo Lanalea and Laurie Fullerton. The people in Raven's Nest were stooges and henchmen and helped Raven with his feuds with Tommy Dreamer, which was a 2-year feud in ECW. Raven and Steve Richards were actually the ECW Tag Team Champions for a while in 1995, feuding with their former members of Raven's Nest, the Pit Bulls. And in January of 1996, Beulah McGillicuddy, who was Raven's valet, announced she was pregnant, and it was Tommy Dreamer's, and Raven tried to beat up on Beulah McGillicuddy, and Tommy Dreamer led to the pack, and eventually, Raven got a new valet, Kamoa Ranalea, but that was briefly until she had a lesbian affair with Beulah McGillicuddy. It was a storyline. In the summer of 1996, when Raven was the ECW World Champion, he got into a long-running feud with the Sandman, and Raven recruited Laurie Fulton and Tyler Fullington, who was Sandman's real life wife and son, and Laurie Fulton eventually dressed like Raven, and Tyler Fullington dressed like Raven as well, and Laurie and Tyler said that the Sandman was a bad influence. They actually had Tyler Fullington whack the Sandman with a cane, and then when Raven lost the ECW World title in October 1996, a few weeks later, Raven and his henchmen Stevie Richards, Blue Meanie, and Nova put the Sandman on a cross, which was a crucifixion, which got a lot of people in the Catholic Church and Christian churches offended about that, including Kurt Angle, who was supposed to sign with ECW, and he decided against it because Kurt Angle was a Christian. Eventually, Raven added a couple more members to the flock, including Chastity, who actually was a porn star, and Lodi. When Raven lost the Losers Leaves Town match to Tommy Dreamer in June of 1997, Raven went to WCW for more money and a lighter work schedule, and when Raven debuted, next thing you know, Stevie Richards shows up, and then Raven beats him up. Eventually, Raven forms a new version of Raven's Nest, but they called it Raven's Flock, and it included Stevie Richards, Saturn, who was Raven's henchman, Lodi, who held up a sign, who was the most loyal person to Raven, Van Hammer, who the storyline says he was homeless, Billy Kidman as Kidman, who grew out his hair long and said he was a heroin addict and he loved to scratch a lot, and Sick Boy, somebody from the WCW power plant who didn't get too many matches, and then Scotty Riggs. One time, him and Raven had a match on WCW Monday Night Raw, and Raven injured Scotty Riggs' eye, and eventually Scotty Riggs had an eye patch, and he joined Raven as well, wearing the same clothes as Raven. Eventually, more members of the flock joined, including Horace and Reese and Canyon. Raven's flock was even popular in WCW, but most of the wrestlers besides Raven were basically jobbers, and they would lose all the matches. But they would also help Raven out in feuds with Chris Benoit, DDP, Goldberg, and others. Eventually, Perry Saturn got tired of Raven being a bully, and he broke off with Raven. Eventually, Raven had a match with Saturn at Fall Brawl 1998 with the special stipulation: if Saturn wins, the flock would break off. Billy Kidman turned against Raven, and then Saturn won the match, and Raven's flock was dismantled. But Lodi still remained loyal to Raven and Canyon. did as well. Raven and Saturn actually were WCW Tag Team titles for a little while before Raven left WCW in 1999 to go back to ECW and eventually joined the WWE. Raven's Nest / Flock was kind of a fun little faction, but it was lots of misfits besides Raven, who was a legitimate star, and Raven's Nest kind of ranks right up there with like some of the hottest wrestling stables of all time, next to the Dungeon of Doom. And that's about it on Raven's Nest / Flock. I'll be back with my fourth and final video blog of the night, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus, about the old Dave Letterman show, a comedy show in the daytime on NBC for about 4 months in 1980. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Budding guy. Molly Roseblood, WCCO, Access, Nice Legs. Elizabeth Hot, so sunny. She's the best. Amy Sweezy's awesome, Amy. Linda Chedger of WPIX channel. I love New York. Such a rocking cougars. Got the best legs in New York City. Bar none. Baba Gibbs of ABC 11 has sweet southern accent. Best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. Ren Claire of WHC channel 7 Boston has the best legs in Boston. And in the woods, Sean Lucia. Get out! Bye now.